So, recording in progress. Today is January 7th, 2026, as I sometimes forget. Called to order at 4:05 p.m. With the entire in the room. So Adam Holloway, Louise Dowd, Miranda Kingfisher, Alan Genovese, myself, Diana Noble, and of course, our superintendent, Carol Leonard Miller. So we have, because of time constraints, given ourselves a 4 to 6 p.m. deadline for the next couple of meetings. Hopefully it'll serve us as well as it has in the past.
Well, so that's the other, next one's at 4 as well.
I think
Did I write that?
the next two.
The next
So I think that that this came up when I said that
4? Yeah,
I'm-
21 first.
soon, not tonight, but I'm soon going to have a Wednesday night commitment where I have to drive either to Greenfield or Amherst by 7.
You
Ah.
did say that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this will
I
be
think
an
that's why we
ongoing-
moved to 4 to 6.
Yeah, no, that
you know,
makes sense.
until
I kind of
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Mid-May or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I'll often be racing in here like you saw me do today from some other thing, but that's okay.
You know, we could compromise on 4:15
No,
too.
4's good.
Let's shoot
let's
for
run
it
with
if we miss.
You want to get it before you need your nap? Is that what?
And before I fall asleep.
It is
I
amazing,
guess about it too.
because they used to be like evening readings.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
this is
This is good.
Wow. There's no public here for public comments, but I did watch one meeting, actually check to see with each of their members whether there are other public comments that have been made to members that anybody wanted to share. But that was also a nice approach. So if anybody had any feedback from the
Amazing.
public
Yeah.
that they'd like to share. I'll try to remember to ask that each time.
Yeah, it's a good ask.
I actually got some feedback right before the holiday. The newsletter, usually it's like a lot of information. Newsletter that was right before the holiday. We included some suggestions, like if you want to be reading with your children. I don't know. I grabbed a bunch of interesting links from like the New York City Public Library, and I got some feedback from parents that like that they appreciated having some like suggestions for things that you could do over vacation. So that's something that I can include in newsletters moving forward.
Back in the day, there used to be a suggested reading list in the summertime. Remember
Yes.
that put out, so we might want to
Yeah.
think about that for our kiddos.
Yeah.
Some schools had required.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, well, that's really in the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
In the last 25 years.
Yeah, but I think that might be nice
Yeah.
to do.
Definitely. The school librarian at Wildwood, where my 3 kids have gone in Amherst, gets the students really excited about Massachusetts. It's like I want to say MSBA, but I know that's not what it is. But it's like the work winning books, and she had some sort of a contest, and then over the summer kids are really excitedly reading, and as long as you've read maybe 3
Mhm.
from her list, you come to an ice cream party. So that we could certainly do something like that, especially if my new reading colleague here to help me.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if, I mean, that's a great theme. I'm wondering if the teachers came up with like their reading list for the, coming year when they
Yeah.
come in to kind of get them a broad background for kids' perspectives before they begin their learning. If we were interested to like purchase those,
Mm.
so, so that we had our own little library here, so kids could stop by and pick up some of those books, read them, bring them back, someone else picks them up. That'd be kind of cool.
So different books than this library already has, you're saying?
Yeah, those that, as we refine our curriculum.
Yeah.
And the teachers
That the
have come
teachers-
across
yes.
things that, this wouldn't have been nice if the kids had
Right,
exposure to this before I
Yeah.
introduced this.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. And also get our parents in the loop too, because they'd be.
Then the books would be around the house.
Yeah. Oh, it's good thinking.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.
We have minutes from December 17th. Which I did have a chance to take a quick look, and they're great minutes. As always, I have no feedback on how anybody else does.
I thought they were really good. It's so funny because I was going down and then I had this question, the team, because it said support team. Then later on it said the team, and that's Steve and Faye. And so I thought, oh, I wonder why we didn't say that. And then I remembered you asked the question, who's on the team?
Yeah.
And so that
Oh.
was that, so they're nice because they're done
So
chronologically.
you remember what people
chronologically.
said when you read. the
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, I
That's
do.
nice. I don't.
You remember who said it, and what they said, what, there was a question you had asked.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Like why?
Yeah.
I guess. But I guess that still makes sense.
Is that in a sentence here?
Leiden's already, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that closed a while ago.
Yeah, that could,
Where is that in the minutes? I read the whole
This
minute.
is just about
the pioneers consider it
The
closing.
document,
the renovation.
just comments on the side of the document, you can do it in Microsoft Word, so just. Because it's a shared document,
Oh, it is? The minutes on our, when we get those?
yeah.
They are,
so-
I'm not sure, I haven't shared them with everyone, I've just shared them with like the
Oh.
people who touch them, but like, I can share it with everyone.
Well, tell me, like, give me an example of what's in the shared thing that we wouldn't pick up.
Well, this is the first time I think
This is the first time
Yeah.
anyone's
ever. So just Marshall, so like if I wanted to make a comment on something, I can highlight it and then put a comment and it'll populate here and then I can write what my comment is. It's just a way of doing collaborative editing on Microsoft Word.
That's a good idea. I use the shared folder all the time, but I didn't realize we could
Yeah,
do that.
you can
Yeah.
do that with shared documents, so just put in there, does this mean? It was a school choice bill update and her question was, does this mean being K-12 district only operating elementary school and having to pay? And then Carol responded yes, and then Jess's question down below is, does Leiden is already closed, question mark.
So the only-
Slash closed schools that need
Yeah.
serious renovation.
So as long as it's helping you clarify, like something that came up at a meeting, that's good. If it's a question that had nothing, that wasn't actually talked about at the meeting, like if
Right.
she said, what about such and such, but the such and such, let's say Leiden clothing, had nothing,
Right.
was no discussion, then that shouldn't be in the minutes because that was just
If
her
it is-
curiosity question that she came to her head when she was reading minutes, but not something. So that's the danger to doing
Well,
that.
yeah,
So
I do feel that one felt like an edit to me, like it was inaccurate to describe Leiden as one of the.
well, where did it talk
Could
about
be
lighting here?
closed, Because it was already closed.
Right, so I was just looking for that.
Under G?
Thank you, because I could.
Yeah.
5 updates in the.
You said like closing the serious
Reservation, these serious reservations, Leiden's already closed, so it's Burnston and Northfield. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Where'd you get Leiden? Just,
This is
did
what,
we say that?
this is one of the ones that. You must have said it.
Yeah, I will take the blame for it. But if I said it, I would have said they closed Leiden when they were
Leiden.
reduced in 57% of their population, but when the high school lost 70% of its population, it's still open. Slow figure.
Any other comments on the minutes before we approve them? No.
I move, you ready? I move that we approve the December 17th minutes. Do we amend them as amended? Okay.
Little amendment.
Yeah, I will second that. Any further discussion? All right, who's in favor?
Aye.
We have it unanimous. All right, I'll move on to updates. Mine are going to be even shorter than indicated here. Brian, like I said, Brian's not here tonight, so what I talked to him about is maybe he and I getting together on the 3 Pioneer meetings that we attended between the 2 of us and doing a more thorough update about where Pioneer is at and what they've been up to in the last couple of months. We'll try to get that together more thoroughly for next time.
Does that have a, let's see, this is gonna seem like a stupid question, but does it have an impact on our kids in their education there?
The items that come up at the school committee meeting?
Yeah, because
Yes, some of them. do.
having been at meetings, a lot of stuff seemed like
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with our kids, which I used to
Yeah.
think, that should be what most of the
Why
meetings
aren't they
about.
talking more about the?
Right,
Yeah.
so that's, you're gonna report on things that
That would affect
about the.
us you know,
our kids.
us and our interaction with Pioneer in general and the kids in particular in terms of the kind of education that
Right.
they're getting or the kind of activities or
Okay.
any changes in their education.
Right. And are you on here? I looked at this quickly. Are you on here about the tuition agreement? Is that?
So that is noted also under updates, number
Okay.
4.
Okay.
So the next big step in the tuition agreement is waiting for feedback from Pioneer on whether they're willing to accept the wording about non-resident students that we've already gotten into our Maher
And
agreement.
you expected to hear that this month?
They said they were gonna have a meeting on the
12th, which I think is next Monday.
Cool.
So
That's interesting how rumors fly. I had heard they rejected it. So I don't know why I did, but.
well, there may have been negative discussion, but we haven't gotten an official answer, and it is going to be in a subcommittee meeting that's scheduled for next Monday.
When did they have the negative discussion?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, if you heard a rumor that
Yeah,
may have been
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
but, you know, there's no
Yeah,
definitive.
it's total.
We
rumor.
haven't gotten a definitive answer
I
yet.
said, I know nothing about that.
I expect there are some folks in the circle and leadership circle that have second thoughts about it, but we have not gotten an answer.
I'm wondering if their biggest barrier, even if they wanted to do it, is Desi and their
Well, I
kind
thought
of
there-
oversight role.
Yeah, there was, but Desi has given us indication that they are fine with our Maher agreement, which has that same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So I don't think we'll get any pushback from Desi if Maher ends up being our
Yeah, but
only agreement.
Maha is not under review. Where Pioneer is, and so every penny counts. Plus they're
You could
asking,
look at that either way.
plus they're looking for a 10%
Yeah.
increase. You know,
We've made it very clear how important that wording
Yeah,
is to us.
good. Thank you.
So I will turn it over to Carol for her report.
Yeah, well, it's I started by saying the meeting that I was just coming from was an attendance meeting. It came out of one of our district goals to minimize chronic absenteeism, and what we've been doing. You may remember you appointed Crystal Wilder, who's the social work intern, to be the attendance.
Right.
And she's doing an amazing job.
Helping to get kids here.
Helping to get kids here, but I was just referring to her as like a journey woman. So what she's been doing, so we have all this data, and we developed procedures. Then we have been tracking the data using this new Aubrey data dashboard. And then when kids hit a certain number, we have this intervention that she does where she's calling. And, it's not 100% success. But with 2 of the families, she sat down with the parents and learned of all these hardships they were facing and has done everything from get students classes to get a free cell phone plan to arrange internet for a family that was struggling to like getting involved in helping them with food because their SNAP benefits were
That's
canceled.
great.
I just was amazed
Mm.
hearing the different things that she was doing that came out of
Mm.
something that is a district goal that we decided on together. So I just wanted to, her name is Crystal Wilder, and she's with a C, and she's working like, I don't know, like something like 70% this year. She's working for free as part of her master's. Faye has been recruiting the way that I'm recruiting student teachers. Faye recruits social work interns. So she's just here. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update that was literally where I was just coming from, but I just was really moved by the impact that this, and with two of the families where there had been, when she did the intervention in November, they were heading towards chronic absenteeism, which means you're missing for 10% of the school days that have happened so far.
Mm.
So in 2 of the cases where she had this intervention that the absences then stopped. So now they're under 10% because there's been more school days and the number stopped at that point in November. So, it's odd. There's still certain families we're concerned about, but I just like this holistic, that's like being a true community school.
Refresh my memory. Did we develop a job description for that position?
It isn't, no, we didn't just develop a job description.
We might want to think about, I mean, because that's a wonderful match as we go forward to look for someone to fill that position. She might be the right person to say, hey, would you be interested in starting to form? What would it be the good elements of a job description?
Yeah.
Particularly when she's
Crystal
still.
be
getting
Oh,
a
ask
master's
Crystal
and
to do
stuff.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the first year you do anything like this, it's harder. And to hear she's hitting it out of the ballpark, because this is a first time thing.
Yes.
To hear she's hitting it out of the ballpark as the first person doing it.
She's getting her
Certainly, any
master's.
guidance she can give us
Yeah,
Does she live
going forward,
She does.
So she'd be cool to keep.
She would.
connected, yeah.
Yes.
what's the title we're
Good
using?
question.
Um,
She's
I
great.
think it's-
There can be a role for her.
But when she's calling, we just had a big talk about like, what do we
Yeah,
say when you're calling? And she's
Right.
saying, I am a social work intern and I'm serving as a counselor, but I'm also assisting with attendance. So she's,
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yep.
mm.
Yep.
So
But I'm sure when they parents hear I'm a, social worker kind of.
yeah.
May
We
need
were
to
just
pay
saying,
attention a little bit.
yes,
But
it's-
interns probably saves that from them going off the deep end with the idea that,
right.
yeah, but that's fabulous. That is just so fabulous.
Yeah, so if you see her,
Yeah,
or I could even invite her to a meeting. That would actually be an interesting.
maybe after she's come up with some job description ideas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe that could be one of the academic presentations.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
she could come with Faye or Toby, so it's not just this intern kind
Yeah.
of thing. But she's person who's had a lot of different jobs and experiences. She isn't like brand new to the professional
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
Nice.
that's
No,
all
thank
right.
you. That's
And Brian and I both know her a little bit from both his work in the Athol district and
Yeah.
as a swim team parent, so.
Oh,
So she'll at least have some familiar faces.
yes.
Around the table.
Okay, so just like other things and it's still continuing to do well on map. Very exciting. You will see additional things over January. We have these full-time Smith College students who are doing an internship. They're living in Warwick for the month.
Oh, they are?
Yes, with Coach Joe.
They're living with Coach Joe.
They
She has
are
enough room for all four of them.
Smith. It's been
That's
Brent's place for them.
Yeah.
They're very enthusiastic, and it's nice for the teachers to have like an influx of enthusiastic young teachers.
Did this happen last year?
It happened 2 years ago. Last year, there was like an issue with the housing or transportation.
I'm glad that worked out. Are they using the Airbnb space?
Yes, I think they're using Joe's Airbnb space.
That's fantastic. Okay. Cool.
So that's
Thank you for helping
good.
to make sure that worked.
Sure. I think it's critical to the survival of rural schools to have a partnership with training programs because otherwise we just don't have the capacity to keep building our faculty.
Right, but then going that next level and making sure they have housing is.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big.
Is it on Morse Pond?
No, it's up at Chase Hill.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Huh. Neat.
So, the next thing is that we have a new reading specialist on staff, which is really exciting. Our very own Louise is joining, and I couldn't be more excited to have you working directly with students. Just, it's perfect timing. They're learning like how to have a really good MTSS system. And, we haven't had those reading support like we've known students could use a second dose of reading. Now we have you and your expertise to provide that instruction at least till the end of the year. So thank you.
I'll try to live up to the
You
expectations.
You. It's secondary application season. So, I'm in the middle of talking to sixth grade families about where they want to go. I'm scheduling visits to the folder places so that anybody has any particular one they want to see. You just send me an email. Today I scheduled tentatively for February 4th. So just let me know. I'm gonna go to Franklin Tech for Rivers, where I've actually never been. I'm excited. And then we'll also do Lime.
But you have a schedule for.
The only one that I've actually scheduled for the thing is Walker. I've sent them all lots of annoying emails to get them.
If you would bring Franklin Tech to my attention,
Yeah.
I'd like to see some. It's really humming.
Yeah,
See.
their whole new program.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aviation.
the aviation mechanics program.
yeah.
That's cool.
and there's a huge need for that. So
We
those kids are gonna
also-
make a lot of money.
We have our next open house on February 28th.
Is
All
it
right.
day week is starting? 28th.
February 28th.
10 to 12.
I'll put it in the agenda.
We had some,
I learned from you also that Franklin Tech was due so soon, the lottery, so I emailed the parents.
Good. Thank you.
Did,
It was like when I saw it.
did you happen to have any follow-ups regarding number of students?
They've said they have one place, and then the rest of our kids will have to be through lottery. And then I sent an email to follow up, and then I haven't heard back. We lost
Placed in the lottery?
it based on our population. We'll have one off seat.
we only get one seat automatically?
That's what seems strange to me.
And,
Above and beyond the students that are already there, right?
right,
Yes.
yeah, so
One
How many
new
students we
seat,
have there?
One new seat, yeah.
and one ninth grader, a lot available, and like 5 or 6 that want to go, or one into ninth, and 5 or 6 that want to go, and
Yeah.
That one I go.
The 5 or
ninth
6
grade.
eighth graders who want to.
So
go
how many are
there.
there now?
I can.
Yeah.
So-
find it.
And I don't, the math doesn't math. Because last year we had more students available to go in than that. So
They graduated more, maybe?
no,
No?
I have no idea, but it's based on, unless they've changed the calculation, the previous calculation explained to me is based on the total number of ninth graders. The total next year's ninth grade cohort and our percentage of that.
Yeah, within their
Oh.
entire catchment area.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Oh, so
And
that's how they
so
want it? Oh.
and so to
Can you
have
say
it,
that again, Adam?
so they take the total population of,
So let's say there's
Right.
100, seats open.
yeah, so that currently, the current eighth graders in their catchment. And then Warwick gets a percentage of that based on our population.
Based on our town population.
I think it's eighth graders, the way you're saying.
Yeah, they,
Oh,
So if we've got
okay.
3 eighth graders
we,
and there's 400 eighth graders in their
Yeah.
entire Franklin County
Oh, my goodness.
catchment area,
Oh, my
you know.
goodness.
yeah, so I mean, for
I
that.
did not realize,
that-
that's a new,
No.
way
that's-
of doing it,
that's-
isn't it?
no, that was how it
because it
was.
seems like we used to have 6, 7 openings every year.
I know, and that's why I had the issue with is, I'm like, unless the entire rest of the catchment area has changed dramatically.
Right, we should have.
We should have. more.
Right.
Well, either that or it's become more popular too. Because in
That's-
general, Texas.
that's
I
true.
know-
But if
But
we have,
this is for the number
if
of
it-
lots. This
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
be-
based on.
But if
population.
very quietly and nobody said anything, we got the one guaranteed, but there was also extra room that we had
No,
6 or 7
that
people.
wasn't how it worked.
There were
No?
some.
And it was at least like 3 that we had on first round
Okay.
last year. So
Mm.
that's why I was like,
Yeah.
when they said it, I went because I went to open house and they said it and I was like,
See, I thought incorrectly, obviously, that they took the total population for all their towns. And then they took the percentage of the population. So if Warwick, their total town as to the whole town gave a percentage. And then that percentage would get applied to the number of seats, the
Right.
enrollment that
Yeah.
was open.
Which means
I
that a
think they-
town that had a ton of folks that weren't student age
Right, and like elderly.
would get an
would be
additional,
different.
yeah.
Right.
So it's
Would get a high
great if
percentage.
It's actually based on rising ninth graders.
Right.
The number.
So that really skewed things not in our favor.
well, that's how they calculated it last year. So unless they change
That
it.
piece isn't new.
Did you ask if that was last year, the first year they calculated it that way?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It was during the tour and the gentleman was a teacher and it was not.
I definitely want to go.
Oh, so maybe it needs to be corroborated, that,
Well, that's that's.
That's Carol's
corroborated.
They're meeting, but
Yeah,
and I met with the superintendent 2 years ago. That's how he described it then. So that isn't new. But we question the fact that it would make sense that there was only one and us for a meeting and we haven't heard. Someone asked how many students we have there right now.
Hmm.
We have 2 students who are in the 9th grade. We have one who's in the 10th. We have one who's in the 11th.
Only 4 in all?
Okay.
So we've got
yeah,
4, but none will be leaving.
But there's
Right,
strong,
12th graders.
there's strong interest in the rise in class. So we want to get as many of them in as we can.
Yeah, there's at least, we were sitting there and, it feels kind of weird because you're like, I hope my kid is in, but I'm like, all the other kids in the cohort are good kids that really want to be there as well. It's, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, they're also upping their criteria for admission.
No, it's not at all. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's a lot right now. It's a.
Oh,
curriculum.
Right.
Oh, it's
Right.
not,
Right.
I thought that attendance thing,
No, they can't do.
they
that.
canned all that, okay.
And they're
Yeah,
suggesting,
So the way it works now is the first round, each town, whatever number of them, they take the applicants and the number that they're allowed. And that's a lot, each town has their own lottery. So they get that pick. And then whoever doesn't goes into the general lottery. And after that, they go through whatever, and it's a random complete lottery to get in.
so if we hit it right, we could have a lot, all our kids could
True,
possibly get in
true,
on a general lottery.
Or
but-
you can only have one.
or one.
Uh,
That-
just so everyone knows.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I mean, that's blowing my mind.
It sucks more because I have a rising ninth grader.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, that's why you went.
Yeah.
Cause ours is one of them. And several of the other kids that age that you know in town are also interested.
You
Yeah.
want to hear something to that end, something really ironic is they're planning on building a new high school with less seats than they have in the one existing school. Yeah, Franklin Tech, because they're doing the enrollment projections and it makes a big difference as you decrease the foot to the town, so they're projecting out, they're gonna have fewer kids over time. They seem to be at their sweet spot right now with over the 600. So it just seems ironic that we're gonna have a new high school and we're gonna have fewer seats. But, so then that would impact even
Even
more
more,
depending,
yeah.
so. Well, thank you for that. Not,
Yeah.
no, I didn't know that. Thanks, Adam.
I will ask.
And I would like to go.
Ask.
Yeah.
But
Do you always have it in the morning? They always have it in the morning?
yeah, usually.
Do
Because
you
they
get a
like to
day
give-
like
they
a
like
Wednesday,
to-
Thursday,
they
Friday?
like to give us breakfast. It's like part of it.
I don't mind that, but they picked, it, like, if it's Monday, Tuesday, they usually
Um,
can't, so.
But as right now, so you don't have to email me. So Alan wants to be sure
Yeah,
to go to Franklin.
yeah. Do you talk to Russ? Who do you talk to there? Cause Russ does all the,
Russ did before. I've been talking to
it's great.
Ben, who's the
Oh.
assistant principal, just because he and I knew each other 20 years ago.
I knew Russ 20 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of old connections and friend contacts.
Yeah.
Who want to go to Faulkner, who would want to go to Pioneer, who would want to go to Four Rivers. It's fine if you don't want to go.
I would like to go to Mahar. And if the schedule works, I'll go with you to Pioneer.
Okay.
Yeah, and if these are in the morning, I would love to go to all three,
All four.
to all four, because it'd be really interesting to see what is being offered, in the respective schools.
Yeah, it would be.
At four.
Yes. 'Cause if I see one and I don't have any comparison, it doesn't really tell me
Yeah.
much.
I'd like to see Four Rivers and Pioneer.
Is that a
Yes, but you're
seven? No, I know what it is, but it goes through 12th grade? Is it 7 through 12 or is it
Mhm.
it's 7 through 12? Okay.
Just 7 through
I've
12.
never been there.
Yeah, I'm interested, especially in Four Rivers
Okay.
and probably Pioneer, but I have a day job now.
Yes.
And How long do they,
Off the mission.
how long do these
So
go?
it's not very many days
Like an hour? Oh, a couple hours.
Yeah.
for the rest of the
Do you have a
school
time
year,
in the
so
Mahar?
I'm not.
I
gonna
have
take
time
off.
and more. Oh, I don't.
Just out of these.
What's the date for Maha?
February 4th. And I have to confirm the time once I talk to him.
That's a Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, I feel I should be interested in Mahar too if I'm going the rest of the
Okay. Great. So I will keep you updated. And I will send another email to try
Hmm.
follow up on the number of students. Like the reason they ended up at Walton for Warwick. So that we can get to the bottom of that. All right.
What grades do you go to?
We're just 7, 8.
You're just 7 and 8.
So then the thing I had for discussion for tonight, we have not done any adjustment to the tuition for the junior kindergarten program. It's tuition for 2 years. There's an annual tuition rate of 9,000. We've kept it the same for 2 years. So I was going to propose doing a slight increase of either 2.5% or 2.8. 2.5% would be a monthly increase per family of $22.50. 2.8 would be the increase each month of $25. So, Diana, do you want to say something about your idea of being in line potentially with Social Security?
Yeah, so far in our budget discussions, we've talked about 2.5% increase, cost of living, and that's where that 2.5 I expect also comes from here. However, after that discussion, I look to see what the Social Security increase is going to be for January, because that is the number that FinCom has used for the most part over the last few years for the COLA increase for town employees. And that increase this January, this year is 2.8%. Given how they configure that and what's going on in the economy, I think my pitch for their general budget will be to try and go to 2.8. I find it interesting that the 2.8 is the one that comes out with the rounder numbers too. But so that's where those two numbers come from. 2.5 was sort of the initial starting, and it's often a starting point because that's how much town budgets can raise in general. That seems to be the.
So let me ask the question this way. So what do we anticipate our budget for next year would go up?
We're not there yet.
Because we might want to think about having it match that.
You mean the budget for preschool?
You mean the budget as a whole?
Yeah, if our budget's going up, let's say, I don't know, 2.3,
Yeah.
whatever, then the tuition amount goes up.
Yeah.
But it's just a thought.
Yeah,
Because we
we're
don't
not.
know yet whether we'll be able to do a 2.8% increase from our school budget.
On the salary, cost of living. I'll be surprised if we can keep the total budget down to 2.8.
Yes.
to be honest.
Very.
I mean, what I'm
Big
seeing
bump up.
Pioneer talking about is, because I just read a write-up on theirs, everybody's concerned about two things on their budget. One is the health insurance
Mhm.
cost, and the other is how much money we're gonna get from the state.
Yeah.
So then it kind of depends on
Or-
which increase you're talking about.
Right, or
Are
how
you
much
talking about just the
money,
expense budget or the net of expense and revenue?
or how much money we're not gonna get from the feds from their programs.
Yeah, well, of course. I think we have
And
to
it's
figure,
those three pieces.
I think we
Right.
have to figure we're
That
not
are
gonna
like
get,
being
Yeah, because
juggled.
if we
for
got
better or
something,
worse, we don't actually have that much federal money in our budget,
Yeah.
so, true.
so is
So
this
are
something
you-
we need to do tonight, or
We
is
don't
there?
need to do it tonight. We are hoping on February 1st to send out contracts for next year. So we could think and then make a decision on the 21st. It would be completely fine.
What do you think you'll have a number for the budget?
Well, I don't think, because we've only got one more budget meeting before the 21st. So I don't think we'll have a firm total number for the budget. I think we can probably have a strong, yeah,
Yeah, if you have a strong estimate, I think we ought to be in the
I'm
ballpark.
guessing it's next week. I haven't looked.
It is.
Yeah,
Yes.
next Wednesday.
Next
February.
Wednesday. So I should write the one you can.
Well, yeah, and
Do you think that would be a deterrent for any of the families we
I don't
have?
think we're priced very reasonably already. Anyone who comes to us that has difficulty paying, I've been getting the foundation to fill in. So given that, we have another way to help families, we're starting to receive payments vouchers. So that's been really helpful as well for a couple of families.
Great.
The
So you're
other-
feeling like it's good for the budget to take the higher number and the foundation can help
Yes,
mitigate the,
if there's anybody who struggles with that
Okay.
increase.
And how many families do we have that are?
That are in the junior community.
Yeah.
I
4?
think it's 14. Do I think
Well, that's,
14?
yeah. Do you have any families that have more than one student in there?
In the junior K, I do.
Yeah.
I have one,
Oh, we do.
it's two.
Do we do partial when they have more than one kid?
Did this year, but it's something that we could consider.
I think it's
So we have
something
12
should think
families
about.
and 14 kids.
Yeah, so there must be a second one that I'm forgetting. It has two.
So you might want to think about
Mhm.
having some kind of a tuition break for someone who's multiple kids, second.
yeah, that's a good idea.
I like that. Second.
I like the idea of going up whatever percent we're doing cost of living. To just sort of, all right. Kind of treat them both as cost of living increases,
Is that-
inflationary.
Is that what we're gonna do for staff?
Well, I don't know yet, but I think we'll know by next week.
Okay. All right, so
It's-
to be
And
continue.
just like while you're thinking about all of this before we make a decision at the next meeting. The other thing that we've been very generous, we could continue to be very generous. We currently have before school care for all of our students from 8 o'clock to 8:45. We have 2 staff people, and the reason that we have a second person, one, it's very popular. We, will sometimes have 25 kids, a full class in the dorm. But the reason that we always make sure we have a second person is because we've been having some 3 and 4-year-olds dropped and dropped off, not dropped. And just in terms of safety,
Ouch.
we have to have a second person when there's such little
We should
kids.
do that anyways for the protection of the one person on staff. You should
Yes.
never have just one person.
Yeah. So the other thing that I was thinking that this was a good time for us to consider, do we want to have any kind of for school fee? Do we want to have it for anyone, or at the very least, do we want to consider maybe having it for students who are in junior K? Like if you are going to bring your child at 8 in the morning instead of at 8:45, it's gonna be $5 or something. I don't have a strong, like usually when I come to you, I have a strong opinion.
Mhm.
Think I have a strong opinion about increasing the tuition because it's been 2 years and costs are going up. I mean, the reason that the team that manages the junior kindergarten program was thinking about this is one, other programs do this. So with our sort of comparison programs, we're leaving money on the table, so to speak. And, it is getting more expensive to fund this before school because we have 2 people now. Currently, we've been able to use the money from the lunch reimbursement to be helping to defray the costs. So it's not like we're creating some big hole, but it would be an opportunity to generate a little bit more revenue.
I think that the difference when you're dealing with some of the 3 and 4-year-olds is so significant. I definitely support a fee for those students. Those are students that are all being transported by parents. It's not like there's a difference on when they arrive because of the bus schedule, because they're not arriving by bus,
That's right.
with one exception. So I actually think that we should be starting doing a fee. And I'm happy starting with $5. I'm assuming that's a little low.
Well, what's?
Because
the-
that's what I remember
what's the
paying.
preschool day?
Preschool day is from 8:45 until 3.
Say again.
Till
They,
3.
they get picked up at 3.
Right, at 3,
Mhm.
8:45 to 3.
Yeah.
So 9 to 3 is 6, so 6.25 hours.
Yeah,
And if I take the monthly cost with an increase of 92.52 and divide it by 6.25 hours. So it's costing parents about $14.80 an hour for the kids to be in the pre-K program. So yeah, $5 a day is low, but maybe that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Because we also consider it a service.
So let me throw in a few wrinkles to think about, because that's what I do.
yeah, that's why we.
So how about if I drop my kid off at 8:20 one
Yeah,
day, and
yeah.
8:10 another day, and 8:30 another day?
Yeah.
Where is it gonna be $5 no matter when you drop it off? Are you gonna,
You
how-
have to, you have to.
Yeah, well, I just want to be clear on how we're gonna
If they're
approach
there
that.
before 8:45, it's $5.
Okay, so that would,
Sorry.
and the second person, I mean, it's always good to have another person. Is there something that the other person could be doing that's
They're
productive?
setting up the breakfast,
Okay, thank you.
which is the reason that we can use lunch funds.
Mhm.
Okay,
To pay.
yeah,
for
that's
the-
where I was going with it. It's good to have them there in case there's something going on,
Yeah,
but if there's a function
yeah.
that they can do to help the school, then
Yeah.
that's a good utilization.
So I've got a question. Maybe you're not done with yours.
No, it can be done.
Do some parents bring their kids some days and not others?
Yes.
So this $5 fee, some parents might sign up for 2 days a week, some might sign up for 3, some for
Yeah.
5, or some for what, whatever their schedule needs are. Yeah. So that could be an anticipated fee. It's like, how do you, are they gonna pay at the same time they pay the rest of the pre-K fee?
Here's what I was thinking, just like, but
Good question.
give me feedback. I was imagining when Wendy does the billing for February. She's billing you for your February tuition. She's collecting the number of mornings that you attended in January. That was like what was making sense, but
So you're gonna do it
That's
month in
exactly what I was
arrears?
thinking.
you could cut. That's what I was thinking.
Do they already record who's?
They do attend.
So it's wouldn't even be an extra
That's right.
step, like you already had to get that up.
Yeah.
That's
So she adds on January before school care to the February tuition bill.
that's what I was thinking.
And then that only leaves the last month.
The June
So in June, there's gonna have to be a bill
for
for school.
June.
'Cause June,
Right, right.
yeah,
And so how are people paying by check? How are they paying for
I
this?
usually check.
By check? And then where is that getting deposited?
That gets deposited to Ryan, who puts it into the junior kindergarten tuition account,
Okay.
which then goes to pay junior kindergarten assistant salaries.
Okay. And then if they're delinquent,
If they're
you
delinquent,
have a policy.
Lindsay and I have a meeting. She and I talk every Friday about that. And doesn't happen very much. But what we've decided to do is she sends a reminder and she CCs me. And then so far, that's taken care of. We haven't had to do anything for secrecy.
So if we, I'm thinking now about protecting you.
Policy does say
Yes.
that if you don't pay, we can unenroll your child.
Okay, so pay or you can't play.
Um,
Okay.
I don't have strong feelings about the fee, and I have never had children who have had to go to school and pay for school. So, but I get like, and so I'm like, but it's like preschool's already weird because it's like you pay for preschool
Right.
at like the public elementary school, and so like I think I would maybe just feel like, like, and I have to pay for
Yeah.
morning when
For the
these
burden.
kids continue to not pay for the morning. So I think it's like I feel like the hard part of this would just be communicating with the families about it, which I know that like and would undertake. And then also, and then I do wonder, it's like I wonder if it's worth it if we are funding these positions otherwise some other way. I know we're all strapped for cash, so it's like.
and then the other kids, the first through sixth graders would not be being charged.
That's currently no one's being charged, but it's certainly like there's a lot of school systems. Any students who come before first day and after, there's some sort of a fee. We've never been in the habit of charging for anything except for junior kindergarten. I mean, another way that we could also, so that parents weren't feeling sort of nickel and dimed, as I think that you're suggesting, we could like increase the tuition overall a little bit more to try to be thinking, well, this is paying for some of the morning also.
Right.
But then some people are paying for a service they're not getting. I don't know
Yeah.
if I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Or like.
How they
we're
find out.
Charging.
Yeah.
Charging all of like. the
What
kids
about
are-
charging,
Cause
yeah,
some kids are early.
the grade 1 through
custom
6
pieces,
I
parents?
certainly could.
Or is it cause some
Think
are
they-
gonna
Well,
get-
I'll tell you how we started thinking of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember what our bus schedule was like our first year, is we had kids coming in 3 waves.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it was integral, having that early morning was integral to the
Definitely.
busing schedule.
Yes.
So some students have to arrive early because that's when we're willing to pick them up.
Right.
Now, there's less of that going on. So schedule's gonna get a level next year, because I assume we're gonna add in Mahar. So I think it gives us some flexibility if we can manage to give anybody we transport.
We should not charge those kids.
Oh, right.
If we're,
We should.
Right,
That's right.
if it's-
Yeah.
Because we
But-
may be able to
but-
charge them this year, but then next year we might have to have them arrive 20 minutes early, and then,
Right.
it could change every
Right.
year.
It's only should apply
That's
if the
great.
parents are
Great.
providing that,
Right.
that transportation,
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
We're gonna pick
I
up, bring them here, and by the way, we're
I
gonna charge you for it.
Right, but maybe it's something where it's like we charge families who are just dropping off early and are not busing them.
Yeah, and I'm
I got
still
dropped.
struggling with,
oh, did you really?
And yeah, pay for that.
Well, but what I would do is I would learn the bus schedules and I would find a friend the kids got picked up earlier and I would go meet them there.
Ah,
And to be honest, I don't know if you want to encourage that.
right, right,
Sure.
right.
Because then you're just using the
Split
bus
with the
as a
buses.
babysitter,
Right.
Right, and the issue,
Right.
as you brought up, was some,
which when there was a morning program, I used that instead. But there wasn't
Ah.
usually a morning program here.
it's funny because we have two competing logics. One of them is, makes sense if you have the preschool kids, because they're more needy and need more supervision, to have somebody here. So you charge for that piece, but then when you don't charge for the 1 through 6,
K
I mean K through 6, that are not busing
Okay,
issues,
6.
I don't know, it's like they don't match. Cause it's
But they're
based,
different programs.
I mean, you could have a second grader that's more needy than a 3-year-old.
Yeah, and then that second grader, depending on where they live, might get picked up at 8 o'clock, or they might get picked up at 8:40, depending on how we need to
Right,
run the
but
bus schedule.
I'm taking out buses. I'm just
But it
saying
kind of-
drop off.
But in terms of fairness, the parents who live further away get more care. They can leave, some of them half an hour for work, half an hour earlier than the people who live close by. And again, I'm coming from my own perspective, which my kids got picked up last. I live right there. You know, so I couldn't leave. If I didn't get creative, I couldn't leave for work until they got
Unless you
picked up,
dropped them off.
unless I found some other way to do it. And sometimes I was paying $5 an hour per kid to have somebody take care of it. So-
What if it were a fee, but a suggested donation?
I'd be curious to know
Yeah,
what it would reap.
I'm not sure.
This is one of those, it'd be really nice if there was a low poverty grant or something, some kind of grant that could
Yeah.
help support this, because I mean, it's a childcare issue, it's a safety issue, it's
We've already set
Family
precedents.
issue.
We already set precedents.
Yeah.
without a policy, right? We said with,
Well, I mean, we said we had to because of what, as Diane explained, we had to have that before school because. And the only
president
reason,
because of transportation.
right, because of transportation, but
Right.
then we added in junior kindergarten as ironically as a, a means of additional funding, and now we're
Mhm.
finding,
Yes.
more, it's taking additional man hours to do it, so
Yeah.
I agree, it would be easier to just find some sort of something, not easier, but it would be cleaner
Mm.
to have it funded by some other means.
Yeah.
When does breakfast start? At 8. So any kid who wants breakfast is gonna come early.
Yes, well, Jess won several grants, so now she has a fancy system for bringing breakfast and snacks to the classroom. So kids that come right at 8:45 can still benefit from.
And still get breakfast.
That's nice.
Just eat it in the first.
I like that. So what's the prospect of getting because this all kind of goes away. Like, there's just so many competing things. If
Yeah.
we could get a grant. or
You come
something,
early so you can get free breakfast,
Yeah.
and then your parents have to pay $5 because you're here early.
Yeah. Yeah, just, let's see if we can, let's see what might be out there for a grant or something.
Okay.
Or even, how much money would we be talking? Like, if you were to project this out for the whole year, how much revenue you think it would generate?
Well, I mean, the other question that says, how much are we spending on this too? What are the two, how much is it costing us?
Yeah.
The additional
Yeah.
person, and then how much?
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Any sense of how many preschool kids are coming early?
It's not that many. It's like a few,
So it's,
like 3.
yeah.
or
I'm guessing. there's
So
a
it might be
difference.
$15 a day
Yeah,
times
that's
180 days.
times, but they're not even coming every day.
Yeah.
They're coming
Right.
like
Right,
twice
but that's still a reasonable number to look at.
So the person that's supervising is in our budget,
Mhm,
our regular budget. And then the
Mhm.
assistant, or whatever we call them,
mhm,
are gonna be in our budget. or is this going to be?
Are you paying both of them out of
Self-budget.
the school budget, this lunch budget at the moment?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So three,
Hmm.
$5 a day times 180 days is $2,700.
Nice math.
I don't know what, well, my calculator. So,
How many days did you say?
I don't know how
So
much the
15.
cost, that
180
second
days.
aid costs, but more than that, I'm sure.
They're also doing things with other kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like a major financial problem that we're having. It's more, there's money on the table that the school committee could potentially decide to try to gather or decide
If you're
we wanna
comparing us
sort
to
of
other programs.
keeping
Yeah.
precedent and, just kind of leaving it alone. I'm pretty neutral. Wendy brought it to my attention because other programs are, are charging. And actually, Wendy's sick, so yesterday I talked to Duke, and they charge $7 per half an hour for the preschool. So they have a preschool that goes from like before their program, you could start like bringing kids from 7 to 8:30, and for every half hour, it's $7
It's 21 bucks a day.
addition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just think about it. And I mean, there's no urgency. The only thing is, if we could make a decision at the next meeting, that would be fantastic because February 1st, we're hoping to send out the re-enrollment. So we want to be able to tell folks what it's going to be costing.
But that's the second issue. That's the tuition issue, right?
Well,
Yes.
but it's connected.
Yeah, we were gonna, if we were gonna begin to have a before school fee, we wanted to tell people what you told them the tuition. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I will say is that by using school lunch funds for that, that is one of the rare pots of money that's in a revolving fund that will persist to next year, if I remember correctly.
Right.
That is one of those few chunks of money that we have a lot of flexibility on, and then it survives the end of the fiscal year. So we will have less to start the school lunch program and whatever else we use it for next year. Right, just that little bit. But again, it's not that much.
It's a good for you.
All right, good to think about.
Good to think about.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want me to bring forward when we meet on the 21st to kind of help us to make a decision? Like any additional information?
I don't know, maybe what a couple of other places charge?
Yeah,
Do any public schools
yeah.
in the area charge for before school care?
I do know that Four Rivers at least used to charge for after school. I don't know what it was, but it's probably on their website.
Yeah, are the similar programs mostly preschools? Like just straight preschools or,
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 years here ages ago that we had a before school program that was charging,
It was.
but there wasn't a ton of interest and it was really hard to staff, so it didn't last very long.
So if I was a parent, what would, what's wrong? What would my faulty thinking be if I were to say, hey, I'm dropping my kid off early. I'm doing you a favor. You don't have to send the bus there. So why would you be charging me when you're saving on the other end with your buses?
But you're not, because if this is a K through 6 student, we have to always be ready to pick them up by statute.
We do, but we're not. And
So
so
we
that's a
have to
But it
lot.
doesn't matter.
So what?
It doesn't save us
A
anything.
bit less wear and tear on the bus?
Well, or.
Yeah, I mean,
time.
it saves you the wear and tear on the bus for not hitting the brakes as
And
you're going past the
and
house
maybe
anyway.
Well, if you're going past the house anyways.
But I think you, for the most part, you have
You
to.
have to because we're obligated to pick them up every day.
Only if,
cause they're not opting.
The
on
parent who
bus
always
route.
brings their kid to
Yeah.
school,
They don't.
don't they have the option to decide
Yeah.
one day, oh, I'm gonna send you on the bus, I'll take you to the bus stop.
Yeah,
And if the bus doesn't come by because the bus hasn't been used to picking them up, then we're at fault.
so we don't, we run it anyways to all those. places.
Yeah, we don't change the bus route
And
every
that's the
day
answer.
based on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, yeah, then that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly the numbers we're talking about. There's no savings in terms of.
The other thought I had before we go on to the next subject is that if it were a donation through the foundation,
That keeps that flexibility.
and people might be able to, if they make enough other donations, they might be able to get a benefit on their taxes.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
That's interesting. All right, let's.
So instead of paying the money to us, they make the payment to the
Yeah,
donation
if there's a
and then put
donation
that
to the
into our.
foundation to support, it doesn't have to be linked to
Mhm.
the number of families or the particular family. I mean, it's like, okay, we're gonna start, suggesting that
Mhm.
people can make donations to the foundation to support the early.
Yeah.
And they either
care
choose to or
program.
not choose to.
And they choose to make that donation or they don't choose to make it.
You know,
If
I
they
think
do
that
make
as
it,
a- as
the
a- as a
foundation, the
first-
501c3 is the foundation of 501c3.
Yeah.
So
I would say that's a great place to start to implement it that way first.
Ask Wendy to do the same paperwork. And just say, last month, your student that came early this many times. Here's the information on the foundation if you're interested.
We would appreciate.
Here's the range of what other
So
programs
you could
charge.
still tell them. Yeah, I don't know that I would go so far with here's the range of other,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd.
Charge.
I-
I wouldn't do that. I mean, we can
But
do
just say-
research on it and we can know that, but
yeah.
just say, yeah.
And be ready to answer to
Here's
somebody else.
here's your attendance report on the early care
Mhm.
and.
It would be helpful if you
Would it
Yeah.
consider making a donation.
Would it be a suggested donation amount? Like, would it be like, we suggest
$5 a day,
$10 a day?
maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yeah, there are ways of wording that. So, we suggest $5 a day, but anything you can contribute will help the foundation.
And I wonder who would get mad at us for doing that? Is there any legal
Now, we would be
consideration?
using staff time to collect money for the foundation. Right?
Because.
No, they don't have to pay.
No, because we'd be doing the paperwork.
You'd be doing the attendance. That's paperwork for collecting the donation? I don't think so.
Wouldn't they just write a check
just
out
doing
as
the
a
attendance.
donation to the foundation?
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
At any
And we just
time.
turn it over to the foundation.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
telling them monthly what their attendance is.
Yeah,
You're not telling them they have to make a donation
Right.
monthly or anything, right?
Yeah.
just say any donation would be helpful.
And if they're
Just
going to
open
the
it, see what
foundation, then the
happens.
foundation deposits the checks, right?
Right,
Yeah.
It's a good solution.
Cool.
check it out,
Take
check it
that.
out, it's good to think it.
It's all good opportunities.
Mhm.
I don't have an opinion either way. I think that's probably the cleanest is through the foundation.
Once we find a
And we'll
grant,
do it for a year and see what happens.
Does that mean we're doing it now and then we take it off the agenda next week?
I think that sounds.
sounds like it, yep. We don't have to, do we have to make it a formal
We
motion?
discussed an issue and made a decision.
Well, it's so rare that we table things up. Oh,
Yeah, make a motion or do a consent.
I think yes.
I move that we advertise to parents the opportunity to make a donation to the foundation to help support the early care program.
Parents who drop off their students, is that what you're,
No,
Anyone.
we just do it to all
Anybody.
parents, just
Yeah.
have everybody know about it. But
Yeah.
you're not actively soliciting, you just,
oh, I thought we were honing in on people that drop off
we could, but
first and then, but
And then,
that doesn't have to be a part of the motion, does it? Just-
no, it doesn't,
We're just
because the
informing
procedure can be
parents.
part of
Well,
what Carol does.
if we say informing parents, then Carol can decide whether it's the parents of the early drop off.
Yeah, I would start with them. and not everybody.
Yeah, just the parents of the early
Yeah.
drop offs.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, I.
I
make
will
a
second
motion
that.
we-
Since we're doing the general policy and Carol and her staff would do the procedures,
Yeah.
I'll
and
second
really
that the way it is.
Encouraging parents to make donations.
Okay, and we will come back and make a final decision about the potential increase in tuition once we have a better sense of what the full budget increase will be.
Yep.
Okay,
Can you also consider in your regulatory piece that if they are making a donation for that purpose, that they flag it somehow.
Mhm.
You know, it's a donation to help support the,
Junior kid.
so we can sort of separate out those that just generally are
Oh,
gonna donate
yeah, they
anyways,
can't put, well,
as
it's
opposed
a
to,
different. You're writing a different name on the check,
well,
right? The donation
It's,
part
uh,
is to the foundation.
It is.
they're donating to the Foundation.
Foundation for on the foundation side, like the foundations.
Yeah, I want the foundation,
To
exactly,
know.
to
Oh,
know.
to know where.
So we have an idea how successful it was for the purpose of
Yeah,
that.
so
as
you're
opposed to
asking
just
people to
gen-
write on their check for early care.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, towards early
yeah,
care.
if that could be part of
Expenses.
your, yeah. Otherwise, we'll have no idea if it
Yeah,
was.
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Family.
yeah.
Yeah, but they do have to write separate checks. They can't put their tuition and
Right.
donation in the same check.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm assuming also that you're gonna contact the foundation and ask them if this is.
I have a board meeting with them on Tuesday, so I'll goodbye them.
Okay.
For sure.
Any other discussion on that, on Louise's motion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Got
And
it.
it's 5:10.
Nice.
It's not 5:10. Sorry, it's just 5:10.
It's all right, the old clock works.
Yeah, it does. I've heard that, but I
So-
like it. Yeah.
We have two policies, and I think that. So if we go to BHC chain of command review. I honestly can't remember if it's first reading or second reading. Did we create our?
One called chain of command.
Oh,
Three,
yeah.
admission.
Oh, right,
Oh.
sorry. Number 7 and number 8, so we have 3 policies.
The VHC's first, okay.
Yeah, so it's- so. My,
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember this.
my first thought was, there's no need for that last sentence, because we're not like this major central office thing where it says office visits by committee members will be carried out only under. I mean, I come in and drop things off and pick things up and, you know, I mean, we're a school and that's our,
Where are you?
the very last sentence, it says official visits by school committee members will be carried out only under the committee authorization.
Official business.
Yeah, official.
Which is
official
different than
visits.
dropping things off and picking things up.
I think it's like,
We
if
ha-
you're gonna come represent the committee, then we'd all wanna have to agree on it or something. I don't know.
As a-
Understanding of it.
I don't, I don't see the purpose of that sentence.
Yeah, yeah, because before that, it's talking about informal visits.
Yep.
And notifying the superintendent, going through the superintendent to arrange for that. So,
It's more for multiple schools within a district.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
official visits,
Yeah.
do we have an
Do we do
obligation to make official visits to the school?
Not that I'm aware.
No,
of.
I don't see it serves any purpose.
Yeah, and you got this from
Yeah,
MASC, so.
I
you
did.
discussed that
Yeah.
out.
I'm comfortable taking that one. Sure.
Okay.
I have a recommendation as well. Under school committee communications to staff, all official communications policies, comma, request for information. And directives of.
Yeah.
What is
Because
it again? 'Cause I
request-
flagged that, but I don't know. what-
All official communications, comma, policies, comma, request for information,
Yeah.
comma.
Oh, policy goes here, you're saying?
Just add in.
I'm just
request
adding in
for
request for
information.
information in the list.
Yeah.
But it's already there.
Where?
Oh,
Right here.
it's, you know what, it depends on which version you're looking at,
Oh, I'm looking at one that was already.
because that's the one I emailed out today, but the one that was printed in advance. though.
Okay,
Oh, I see,
So-
so you're making your suggestion there in yellow,
yeah,
yeah.
and I highlighted, because
Yeah.
I wanted to, because it didn't flow for me, I had to keep reading the sentence over and over. Because it seemed all official communication, when it starts off with request for information, oh, I gotta pretend that's not there. So what does that mean? Request for information, is that request for policies, request for directives, request for It just doesn't, it didn't flow as to, I don't know what
Information
that
about the
meant.
curriculum.
Information about the curriculum,
any
even
questions that
questions
communities-
about how many students are here this year.
Yeah,
Because when the school is in session, they're really busy. And I
Yeah.
think that in a request for information or something that seems really simple can always sort of grow into something that takes 10 or 15 minutes, which when a school is in session is actually an awful lot.
I
I
would
think it
agree.
is only fair to have requests for information about enrollment, about policies, about number of staff, about what cleaner we use on the carpet, whatever it is. Just go through Carol so that she can make sure that the staff are working at a time that works for them.
So that doesn't flow with the last part of the sentence, will be communicated to staff through the superintendent.
We could even just say it will be communicated through the superintendent. Does that help the flow? Does that change the meaning?
That might. Cause,
yeah,
cause then it
yeah,
looked
I
like,
agree. You don't need two staff members.
that just kept throwing me to have it to staff again, cause it kept
Yeah.
looking like we were trying to communicate through the staff. It just didn't make sense to me. So if you remove that,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
Um,
And
I have a question on the last
yeah,
sentence.
I'm okay with it.
What's the benefit of having the word problems there? The superintendent will develop appropriate methods to keep staff fully informed of the committee's problems, concerns, and actions.
Yeah, we don't need
yeah,
problems.
seems funny.
We don't have problems.
Staff fully informed of the, what about it's like the committee's actions? Or the committee's work.
Committee's work would umbrella both of those concerns and actions. Yeah, because you think concerns and actions is a little cumbersome.
Yeah,
What do you want to change?
I was gonna say, just basing, going off of what Louise was saying. Keep staff fully informed of the committee's work. But we could,
I would just say of
So-
committee decisions or actions of the
Yeah,
committee's
actions.
actions.
Better,
it's action.
Yeah, and
yeah, we don't need
It
concerns.
just,
yeah, because otherwise, if we had something we brought up, that means you gotta go bring it to them. That, we should always be raising concerns as part of our discussion. That doesn't mean it.
It's up to
If-
you
if
whether.
we didn't
to
take an
give it
action,
To the
yeah.
staff.
yeah.
If we have an action, then that's your responsibility, but.
I know that we brought this to our last meeting. I would be happy maybe it's just because it's nice to be productive, but I would be happy to just go ahead and vote this as
Yes.
active on our first vote, and we can just confirm it next meeting. Is that all right with us?
Right, and we all agreed to what's being crossed out
Yes.
and what's being added.
Are you typing over there? Is that what I heard you doing?
I was trying to.
Do you mind sending to Jess? I've been handing her this kind of situation. If you've done it on the computer already, do you mind sending it to her?
Clear?
Yeah, now that I've heard, I can do that though, yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, then it's easier for
It's
Jess.
one last step. for
So when are
Jess.
you available for this? Everything's going to you. You're only here on anytime. Okay,
Well,
okay,
24th.
all right.
Yeah, you emailed me this morning at like 6. I
Days-
emailed you about
This was like
midnight.
a 4
Well, this
a.m.
morning was a snow.
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
Oh, because you had to get up and decide.
Yeah, Thursday.
Did you make a motion?
Yeah, I did, and
I did.
Diana seconded it.
No,
Did you?
No,
oh,
I
not
didn't make a motion.
no.
I don't
Oh, I
think
just
so.
done this, it was on the
Yeah.
other thing.
Yeah. I didn't,
I moved that we change the language of the DHC.
We could just do with amendments.
Yeah.
We could.
This is-
that's the
Yeah.
perfect-
we approve the policy as amended.
Policy, the communications policy as amended.
Yeah.
This meeting.
I will
And
second
that's our
that.
First, and that's our first approval, okay.
but we'll,
And it will be confirmed, it will be on the agenda for confirmation at the next meeting.
yeah. Let's put it in place right away. Any further discussion on BH? Anybody need a moment? Waiting for,
No,
for Adam's
good.
eyebrows to
Sorry.
stop dancing.
I got it, I got it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye. It's unanimous.
We'll see at like,
Right. I'm just going down the list. The next would be the EV charter. I thought this.
Which was the next one?
So there is an app, something. I didn't try to.
I don't think it's.
It's just F. The Warwick School District.
Oh, yeah,
website, free
charging, I didn't get one.
Charging.
charge.
Oh, you know what? It's on the back, the very back.
Oh, the very back of what?
The packet that I picked up off the table.
Oh,
They're
it's
done
on the back of the HCA.
My papers are in.
They have an HC too.
I'm gonna use the,
I already
just
put that aside.
Oh,
so we just.
oh, the one. that's-
It didn't occur to me the way I wrote that was a little vulgar, so my apologies. So this came up, and I've certainly seen the whole idea about people charging electric vehicles without paying anything for it at UMass. People got all in a huff about it because it is a public utility that's being given away by a public institution for nothing. However, there are loads of places, and I was able to steal different parts of this policy from several different places, some of them public, that do want to encourage EV use. So given that we have several staff who do have electric vehicles and some of them have drives long enough that it's really helpful to be able to get that extra little boost so they can make it all the way home when it's cold out. I'm hoping this fits with our goals. I think it is important once we start doing this. And I'm happy to help whoever's working on it if necessary, to just sort of tally up how much is being utilized. So that we can figure out generally what's costing us.
And I think for a lot of places, that's like, I feel like when a line charges entered, like they were free. And then later they added these names.
Yes,
And so
yeah.
I think it could be a clear, like, sort of like, we're we're
Yeah.
offering this now and
And what,
we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know.
yeah, and the good news is that the town works pretty hard to make sure our electricity costs less than the general retail cost anyway, so. We've got some folks really working pretty hard to keep our costs down, and solar panels are going up throughout the town, so.
So that's good to be.
So, but I'd be curious to know if this flows, because of course I wrote it, which means I know what I was thinking in my head.
I think we ought to consider adding that. Some kind of language that says that if there's any damage that's caused to the vehicle as a result of being plugged into the.
It's in there.
I read it, but I didn't see the user
User
accepts all risks associated with the user of.
And EVSE means the charger.
Do you think that's really clear? That they,
You can say the
You
charger.
could say including damage to your own car.
yeah.
Sure, include
User accepts.
to your car.
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. If we have it specific.
Yeah,
to the car,
that's.
And this is about staff and volunteers. Okay. So when you say, the owner consents for their vehicle to be unplugged by other users. I'm wondering if it should say staff and volunteers or something. I don't know.
I don't know if it has to, because others, but what do you envision, Diana? People will be going out and just changing their vehicles out, or is it long enough that someone can unplug it and park next to it and just plug theirs in? Or
Yeah,
does
is
it
it cord
require,
stuff, you mean?
yeah, or
Yeah.
does it require the use of, let's say 4 people want to do it. If all 4 cars are there, they could just unplug it and bring it to each car.
No,
It's-
they-
You don't have to
That's
move
good. I
cars
think we
around.
could do it with just two.
Mhm.
So someone have to move their car.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like, yeah. They
Well,
don't do
and
it that big.
how many staff, well, the long staff, I guess, but I have a charger at home in my garage, I don't need to use. that.
Yeah, and you're, but,
Yeah.
I mean, it could potentially be 5 or 6.
There's see, there's at least 4. My car is EV, but I usually charge it at home and I have plenty. But Steven is run low.
Yeah.
I think there's maybe 2 teachers. So
So we're talking right now anyway, about 3 people,
yeah,
possibly 4 if you ended up
yeah,
taking the long route to get here.
Sure. yeah, it
Or
could
getting
happen.
to charge your car.
Yeah, and I will say, I pulled some of these lines out of policies written by much larger institutions. But at the same time, I just wanted to sort of eliminate that, oh, you touched my car.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
think
like,
it's
oh, your
good.
time's up. Unplug, plug in.
So when you had these in other places, is there a sign up for it if you have more people than?
There are a variety of different procedures. Yeah.
feel
And
like
I
you could
kind of
do a
envision it
socks
being
or-
locked and somebody going to the first person to charge is sort of going to the office and saying, hey, I'm gonna be charging. I'm gonna unlock it. And then it's locked back up at the end of the day. And
So
certainly,
who would be able to unlock it and lock it?
we could probably, I assume, keep a clipboard in the office or something.
Yeah. So there would be another responsibility for closing up the school to make sure that it's locked.
Ideally, yeah.
Just the same one the bus uses?
For a little while, it would be the same one the bus uses, but there will be a second one for the bus because there will be one installed that's grant funded
Oh,
to.
so we are gonna have one for the bus.
Oh, great.
That will be,
Okay.
because it'll be both ways.
All right, my
I don't remember
thinking
what the word
changes.
is
If
for
there's
it.
one dedicated.
So that if we have an emergency, the
Your
bus,
car qualifies for sending
the EV9 does,
back to, and
Yes.
mine doesn't.
the EV9 does.
Bolts.
No, they don't.
But
Why
The
does it
EV9 does.
qualify.
Why doesn't
You know.
yours?
There's this program, it's a pilot program in the state to people who have solar systems and EVs can send, right now, like I send electricity to National Grid when I'm not using it. But this is different. This is allowing people to use their car as battery storage.
So it could be a backup for the building.
Yeah,
So we'll end up having the building wired so that if the power were to go down, we could use some of the juice from the
Oh, no
EV9.
kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, someone could plug their car in and help to,
yeah.
wow.
So the EV9 does qualify.
Yeah,
So we
haven't
will get a
about-
separate charger.
And a few EVs
Yeah, have that battery
part
capability.
are part of the program.
Yeah.
I don't know about the capability, but they're a part of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
program, and Chevy Bolts are not one. So,
Ours are a little too basic.
yeah, yes,
That
they
thing
are.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see what the regulations would look like around this policy.
Well, we would leave that up to Carolyn's.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, you mean like, yeah,
I'd like to see what she comes up with for the regulations. Like you said, there's a lot of regulations that have been out there that you.
Well, for large institutions, yes. Here, I think you don't need very much. I mean, my only hope would be as as the general public see people charging their own vehicles, that at least over the weekend it's locked so that you don't have everybody coming by and plugging it in and going hiking for 3 hours.
I don't know, how about if the policy limits this in the beginning to staff?
and not volunteers.
Well, not the general public.
Well, no,
Well,
but my
it does
intention
say
is that it does,
Staff
yeah.
and volunteers, that's all.
Yeah,
it
and my
says.
intention is staff volunteers while they're volunteering.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. And
It
it,
says that, while working on site. And
which is nice.
Yeah, and the procedure, there's users must limit charging times to no more than 4 hours per day. So a procedure can spin off of that. Maybe, so that there's communication required when you're in your car and then somebody else who wants to plug in their car. It's gonna be a little bit more work for somebody, Jess or Wendy or something.
And my suggestion would be just to hang a clipboard in the office.
Yeah.
And just come up with a form,
Mhm.
and I can certainly help with that.
Uh,
I like that.
Like, I charge from this time to this time, this is the car I'm running.
Mm.
Because we can always figure out from that how much juice was used.
Right, so you're signing.
if somebody
in
wants-
when
and
you
somebody
stop
else wants-
Charging.
And if somebody wants to charge after that, they
Right.
walk in and say, oh, well, Stephen's charging first, but I want to charge
Right.
next. And then it's like the quarter on the,
Or they
Pool
go
table,
to Stephen
you
and
know?
say, could you unplug yours after 3.5 hours? Because I need this much to get home, so blah, blah, blah.
yeah. And if it's just all hanging on a
Something like
clipboard, then that's.
And you're
Take that.
covering accepting risks and no more than 4 hours a day. And it's only employees and volunteers while working on site. Does it need to be their cars? Warwick School District will provide free electric vehicle charging to employees and volunteers while working on site.
Well, they drove it here, so they're gonna.
Well, it doesn't specifically say that it's their car.
Mhm.
Well, it has to be the one they drove.
Right.
Okay,
I see where you're going with it. Because
there's a loophole.
there's
there.
insurance, yeah.
There's a loophole there. You know, employees and
I mean, if it's their
volunteers.
cousin's car, but that's how they got here, I have no problem from charging. I see this as a benefit to encourage electric vehicle use more than electric vehicle ownership. Yeah.
Would there ever,
Charging for EVs used to come to the school, it's like 2 words, I don't know.
would there ever be a need for some emergency or fire or whatever that there needs to be access to be able to move that car ASAP, like to have the key available or
It's not a fire line,
It's a
it's just,
question.
it's no different than a nail vehicle.
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
parked right, all the other vehicles are in the parking lot.
I don't think it's, yeah, but it'll be parked next to that red shed, just right next to all the other staff vehicles. I mean, yes, it's a little bit dirty. I don't think so.
The EV isn't in the way
Yeah.
for the fire department, so a car parked next to the EV. Of course, then when this other thing gets installed, then the EV bus will be parked near it.
Hmm.
Right?
There's no reason to drive a vehicle around the backside for a fire emergency. I know that was talked about, but from a fire ground standpoint, you're not gonna park a fire truck around the backside.
Okay. That's where I was going with it. trying to-
No,
Okay.
because you wanna be distance away from the building in case of structural collapse.
Mhm. So what do you want to have this as a first reading after you figure out which one's with F blank blank,
Yeah.
F in policy going?
I would just friendly amendment to insert after employees and volunteers for their cars. Doesn't say the cars they own, for their cars. While working. on
Well, that
site.
implies it's their car, and I'm fine with that.
Just to make.
Could be a problem if they had to rent a car
Well,
because their
but-
car was, you know,
The loophole is if an employee or a volunteer invites.
Oh,
Feels like
oh.
they have the permission to
Yeah,
use the
got it.
EV during the day while they're here, so they
Right.
invite their neighbor who has an
Right,
EV
right.
to come and charge
Got it.
for free.
Okay. Oh, you're thinking. Good for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
It's
it.
employees and volunteers for their vehicles while
Yeah.
working on site.
Yep.
Encourage and support. Or
Good
for the
thinking.
Cars. Emergency vehicles already.
EV charging for their own cars, for their cars.
For their cars.
Is there a reason
Thank
we
you for
started with the letter
capturing
F?
this, Adam.
Because I think it would be in
I
that section of
lost the
policies.
What is policy F?
Oops.
F.
Good for loopholes. And I'm not even a
Or
lawyer.
maybe we can come up with
Yeah.
that later,
Yeah.
what it will be. So this, you want to do this as a first reading?
Works for me.
Okay, so
No
this
vote needed.
first reading, and
Next
Did-
agenda.
think I heard request that when we have our next meetings, we bring a set of procedures.
Yeah, I think,
But I'll need your help. How does that sound?
yeah, it's just, yeah, I think this one's, because it's a little different than other
Mhm.
procedures you do in building and
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean, it's definitely
Yeah.
not my area,
Yeah.
it's not my forte.
When we talk about the procedures, we may in fact say, oh, we could amend, but maybe that belongs in here, not in the procedure.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and both, when the other one gets installed, both of those EVSs are gonna be a lot.
It's good.
Yeah.
Now, there is the possibility of and we can delegate this to Jess's son. If if the EV9 is plugged there, you can charge it and then you can have it so that if anybody unplugs the EV9, there's an alarm.
Oh,
Or that it just locks, right?
Oh.
Because I think even our bolts will do that. You can, there's a setting somewhere where you can, so somebody can't unplug it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Right now?
I think so.
My car did it.
Now how do you unlock it? The code?
My car.
You have to unlock your car to,
I have to unlock my car, which is already unlocked.
because you don't lock your
You have
car
to-
is off.
that's,
Just the thing is locked in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And I have to
actually,
lock the doors and then I can unplug it.
so I have two EVs. I never actually stopped to really think. One, I have to hit the unlock,
Yeah,
and the other, you can just take it.
yeah. I wonder if I can change it so I can just take it out.
I think you probably can. What are you driving?
Because it's annoying to have to.
Hang on it. Plug, like hybrid.
Mm,
Mm-mm.
you probably can change that setting.
Cool, I didn't know.
And if you can't, talk to Jess about her son figuring it out. Because I'll tell you, he had that EV9 down.
Fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
That's
riding
great.
with her when we first got it, reading the book. He
I
was all
remember that.
excited.
You were sitting,
I
yeah,
learned things through her from him.
That's good.
it's fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
he could make that a little career. So,
Absolutely.
all right, are we ready to move on to enrollment of non-residents?
So this is like
Which one is this one?
kind of a second reading. This is December 17th, I brought forward a policy JFAA. We had a discussion and
I didn't get that one.
That's the one that could do it.
You. No.
okay, I didn't want to. Hold on, make copy problem. Great job. Okay.
I have this. Is
So,
that the, I don't know. Oh, I didn't get that page. Is that the limit? Here's the backside of it. Okay, so I have that. That's a,
So that's the only version of this. That's the just
Okay.
that addition.
So
yeah.
that's a remind everybody what we have done all. So this policy JF we adopted a really long time ago. We adopted it in 2023. And then when we had the meeting last time, I had created a version JFAA, which we've looked at. And the reason I was bringing forth the JFAA is because we had a student who is a Warwick resident moving to Athol who wanted to stay for the rest of the year. So you gave me the authority to allow that, but we were gonna have the attorney look at the policy. So Ross and I have been back and forth on the policy. Diana has seen all
Many
of them
times.
back and forth. And in the end, when Diana and I met yesterday, we decided that this section of JFAA was the part, there's many parts to that Amherst policy. We don't think that we actually need all of them. So here are the parts that we thought that we could use. And rather than having JFAA, we could just have it be part of could we and this has been through process.
So we haven't seen this yet, right?
This you have seen the version of this without Russ reading it.
And it was buried in a page and a half long.
Right.
Damn.
So we boiled it down to these particular points for two reasons. One, we've got clear thumbs up from Russ on it, and two, it's the parts that we need. There were other things in the longer JFAA that we're still in the middle of going back and forth with Russ on, and I don't think that all that back and forth thing is necessary.
All right, I got a devil's advocate question.
Yes.
It says provide proof such as, and gives two examples, but there are many other possibilities to provide proof for residency that, like, for instance, that you use when you are voting, to verify that you're.
Yeah, you
So
could have
I'm
a
wondering
building permit.
who is making the decision about what's acceptable as proof. I mean, there's a signed lease, there's a rental agreement, there's a purchase and sale. But there's
He
a,
actually had crossed.
there's a bill
he crossed
addressed.
out Purchase and
He crossed that out, okay.
Hmm.
But it doesn't say, so is it gonna have to, what's it gonna have to be? If,
Like, I'm just,
you know, can you, somebody can bring you their National Grid bill? That's addressed to the,
I don't think.
oh, no, because they're not there yet,
They're
right,
not
right, right, right. So,
This is,
why did you cross out purchase and sale?
he said.
This might not go
was-
through.
Yes.
Yep. But a building permit, did he cross that out? Because if you have a building permit,
Didn't have a building permit in the initial list.
So a signed lease or a rental.
Such
agreement.
as means that there could be other things.
True.
right,
Right, so the sentence isn't written correctly because it's such as this and this. It should be et cetera or something, it's missing something.
well, I think then it comes to the question of like, who gets to decide what falls under
Yes,
the set, like what other
Like the-
things might count.
Right,
did Russell add any?
He just.
Deleted. Well, you think about run by a building permit, because that's pretty,
well.
I remember,
also
right.
you know, proof of sale, proof of real estate sale.
well,
well,
I think overarching, it's gonna be, it isn't quite what the document is in as much as it is who has the final authority. It's
Yeah.
approval, just-
I would rather, yes, I think
Right.
having that.
That makes
yeah,
more
I agree.
sense than getting into, because you could get 1,001 different things.
Right.
Yes.
So really, it's who has the final decision is go and no go as an appropriate document.
Okay,
Maybe must provide proof acceptable to the superintendent.
sure.
That's only 4 more words.
Yeah, I like that.
That sounds good.
And again, it's one of these things, it is a small town and, you know, if you're getting pushback, I encourage you to also, you know, discuss it with us if you want backup, but I mean, like a building permit, there's a house out on Northfield Road that has
Yeah.
Yeah. but
had a building
it's
permit for years and they haven't occupied it, so.
like-
But it's such a small town, you've got, yeah. So I like that solution.
Well, always good.
so if they move in with someone else, they would establish how?
A rental agreement.
No, they're not renting, they moved in with them.
Well, maybe a letter from the person they moved in with. This person is living with me.
Okay.
This family is living with me for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Until their blah, blah, blah is ready.
And so the idea is just to stick it on the end, I guess, or something.
That's it's really up to you. It once we took off, you know, a page seemed like it maybe made more sense just to stick it right on JF. And if it feels substantial enough to be its own policy, we could sort of keep it as JFAA.
Oh, I see. I'm on JF. Right. Now I'm realizing the JF. Because this is all about high school registration, admission. And this is about, yeah, it's about admission. I agree that it could just be added onto this policy.
Yeah, the first bullet, I could be, I feel like the first bullet point also feels more like just regular school admission stuff and less, I agree with putting it all in the same policy, but it feels less like the moving out of it, like this section really feels like considerations when moving out of district. And then the first bullet point just sounds like something that is maybe relevant to all school admission. You know what I mean?
This
Well, this is,
The first bullet point, but I don't know.
right, it's about if the family isn't resident.
If they're
Yeah.
not residents yet,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's special because of that.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Do people who are residents of Warwick have to offer proof to that when they register their kids?
yes. They have to show that.
Which one are you working on? This one still?
Yes,
Mhm.
we're just.
This
Yes.
Where would you put it?
So it's like everyone.
I think it makes sense.
Yes.
I think it makes sense to put it at the end because it comes after required information from registration.
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds good.
and what was your title for it? I thought was good. What did you say? Brenda?
For the second two bullet points, it was like considerations. Like, I don't know. When moving.
How did
up,
those two
down,
happen together?
when
I
moving
don't
out
know.
of the
Suddenly.
district.
Well, this is
Well,
admission
well,
and
the first one's about
registration.
in and the second one's
Well,
about out, so
I
it could
think
be when
for me-
considerations for moving in or
I
out
mean,
of
this is
town.
like a actual
Except
separate
that,
policy.
actually,
I-
it sounds like the first bullet point should just be under required information for school registration. Or is that already in there? Oh. Registration.
Well, it's planned to establish residency,
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's
Yeah.
the difference.
So, yeah, considerations when moving in or out.
So this is all how people register who are already residents. We would be adding an amendment for people who are not yet residents.
Yeah,
See, I see that and I can be the loner and you can go on, but I totally see this as a separate policy. I don't see it as an extension of the registration and all of this stuff. This is now you're leaving. And to me, that should be totally
It's like
separate.
a different policy.
It is, and I have.
or you're moving, but you're not here yet. That's
Yeah,
what
it just,
the person- yeah.
I'm just looking at it, trying to make a connection. I just don't see that.
Yeah,
I see it's totally separate issue.
I'm fine with that too.
And
Totally.
the thing that, I'm troubled, you know, it's not a stopper, but I don't think it's fair to the residents of Warwick to support the education of someone who's moved out of here for 6 months, or January, February, March, April, May, and part of June. And we're gonna pay for that. I just think that's way too early. Any policy I've seen has been around the April vacation or, you know, April or May, but not. They've been here September, October, you know, November, and it's just, I don't see that right. I know we're trying to be nice, but it's just not fair. So the residents are gonna pick up the education. Hmm.
No, a lot of people pick up the education, books that they're not ever, I mean, if you're getting into that collectivist argument, then there's a lot of people that don't have kids, never had, they're paying for the education of other people. So I
It's
guess it
different.
goes down.
Yeah, they're gonna go to another school.
It's the same thing, just different packaging. I don't want to get into that, but it's the same argument, just differently posed.
They go live in another community and their kids still being educated by the community they left. That's, to me, that's different. But that's just me. If you want to defend it,
If you feel strongly about it being a separate policy, that's fine with
Yeah.
me.
Should we-
Yeah, but you want to change the date.
yeah, I just say, does anyone else have a policy that says January 1?
Well, I took this from Amherst.
They have a January 1 policy?
I could, the one that we looked at last time was just,
Was this unusual?
what?
Is this an unusual date? I've never seen a date this early.
I just looked up Amherst
Oh.
first, because that's where I live, and it said January, so I'm not sure. I could.
I mean, I understand it's risky when you talk to, when you're talking about students that cost more to educate.
Mhm.
You could be.
But at the same time,
You
Those
can't-
kids are the ones
you
who
can't
need to
just-
stay because going to a new school would take
Yeah.
forever for the program to get
and
developed
we,
for that kid.
we rely a lot on community, so meaning that we also have, you know, parents doing different assistance
Yeah.
and, you know,
But you can't discriminate. If
you
got a
can't-
kid
yes,
here-
right, so if you
You
take
got a
a
kid
kid-
here and it's got hefty services and they move and, well, we're just gonna keep doing them.
Discussed last time was that, like, if we have kids who have extra services, it's like we've already put it in the budget for that.
This is,
Because like we've already accounted for them for the full year.
Yeah. so
yeah,
what,
that would be a budget savings because we could appropriate those to other kids that may have had services that we didn't plan on.
Yeah, but I don't know, but we don't need.
Well, you've already hired the staff.
Budgeted for.
Right, but you have a unique situation and you have a staff, you could.
Who's
Sure.
helping a kid who's got,
yeah,
who needs an aid, yeah.
I just think, I would like to see more research on, is this an anomaly? Because for me, it's an anomaly. I've
What other
I've not,
customers
in all the districts.
see, like maybe Pioneer, like which districts?
I don't know, just maybe around the area, you know, what does Maha do? What does Pioneer do? What does, Athol Royalston do? What is, you know, just, I mean, I'm familiar with regional, you know, like Mohawk Trail and Groton Dunstable and, you know, others, but it just seems very, very early.
Okay.
Because you're trying to. There's other extenuating things that are involved when a family's coming here, but they don't live here. Oh, yeah. Is
Is
this,
there anything besides the date? Just to sort of kickstart our conversation next time, if we're gonna do that research. Is there anything besides the date that we want to look at in terms of the wording?
Child's welfare.
I think I've heard that we're all fine with making that J, labeling it says JFAA.
so the last bullet, what it says, if a student's family moves out of the district during his or her senior year, particularly considered may be given to the superintendent to the family's petition that the student be allowed to complete the school year.
Doesn't really apply to us.
I would agree.
Does it? I would think it does.
Cause if, let's imagine. I mean, students we have right now in Pioneer that we're paying for to go to Pioneer. And the student moves from, Warwick to Deerfield, but they want to finish their senior year in Pioneer. Would be in support of doing that and cost.
I would say not, and they can continue there under school choice.
If there's a school choice
And-
opening.
Yeah, and Pioneer would be more than happy to do that.
At what point would Pioneer stop taking school choice kids, no matter how many slots they have? What's the
To
year?
exist.
No, but at what point in the year?
I would agree with you. They're gonna take kids whenever they can get them.
If it's April or May or.
But they open up seats, you can continue to fill those seats all year.
Let's see.
Yeah,
That's something.
I think it's May 1st.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not gonna take school choice kids
Yeah,
after that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's a little different. But I don't think,
yeah. I mean, this,
this is a savings in the budget, because that's a tuition you don't have to have, and we may need it for something else. Particularly looking at
So
projected finances.
I'm getting clear now that the first bullet doesn't give you discretion, that if they, well, you have discretion about what's
look at.
acceptable as proof
Mhm.
that they're gonna move into town soon.
Right.
But it doesn't say, that they can petition. It just says,
Yeah.
in order for their child to enter school. Then the second one, if you're moving out, the family's got to petition the school to see if the student can stay.
It seems like the first bullet belongs with JFA and then the second two belong.
Oh, isn't that what you
JFA.
said?
That is what you said, yeah.
Did I say that?
No,
Or be-
Well, we both said. it.
Miranda
Yeah.
said too.
You guys are saying.
Yeah. But is that also what we want? Is that somebody who isn't quite here yet? Family hasn't moved here yet, but they want their student to start school here,
That one makes sense.
that if the proof of them coming soon is acceptable to Carol, that's it. There's no other discretion
Right.
on the superintendent's part about whether to accept them or not to accept.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is that the way we want it?
Do we have any control over that?
well, we've,
Like legally, do we have?
You do, and that,
we could make them wait until they're here.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
wouldn't, and what the leeway we're giving in this policy as it's written is 60 days.
Right, I see.
So
I
I don't
have-
know why that first paragraph doesn't say the family may petition.
Well,
In
It-
order for,
is it just
they'll establish
semantics?
residence within 60 days in order
It's like, do we want it to be?
for
like,
them
do
to
we want it to be
petition
Mhm.
the superintendent to permit their child to enter the school. Because if you don't have that, I think it's legally a little more open to them, somebody saying, well, you're not accepting my documentation, but I'm gonna get a lawyer because this is documentation that does prove that I'm moving into town. I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't give the superintendent the same discretion as the second paragraph.
That is interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
I do feel like I don't know, like they feel. They feel different. Well, and because I think in terms of lawyers, I feel like I feel like the discretion are on the like, is this legitimate housing or not? Like, do I really believe you're gonna move here or not makes sense as a limit? Whereas like, I don't know what other reasons the superintendent would have for not letting someone in when they're definitely moving here. And
Right.
that feels bad to be like, oh, then that's at our discretion. Whereas like the moving out feels like more of,
So,
there are more
okay.
factors.
So you think the first paragraph's fine the way it is?
I like it the way it is.
I like I like wordsmithing to make your point. If a child's parents or legal guardian shows proof that they will reside,
Oh, sure.
such as,
I like,
now you're, instead of,
Instead of
they plan, hey, I plan on doing it.
well,
But, so if they
Oh,
show proof,
That if that
yeah,
they will establish residency, but that
they
they
show
will.
proof that they will, establish residence,
okay.
such as,
That they will.
With that,
establish.
you're just
Okay.
I'm
reorganizing.
wordsmithing to try to
We're
find it,
just reorganizing.
Yeah.
trying to make it clearer that it's on them.
Yeah, proof that they will establish days, comma, such as a signed lease or rental.
And, basically you don't have discretion there because they've come in and they said, we're gonna do it. And here's our proof.
Okay,
You go,
so
okay,
that's the reason why she shouldn't have discretion.
Yeah.
yeah,
about that.
at that,
Okay,
and
I'll accept
we're friendly, we're trying to cooperate.
right.
You won't, now I have run into all kinds of things that they dug a down foundation, they got their permit and then, it's second month, third month, fourth month, and it doesn't happen. They ran into financial issues
Yeah.
and boy, what a nightmare that becomes. But we
Well,
have to have good faith.
Right, but if
We gotta act,
you've only got the foundation in,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be done.
Thanks. No way.
Yeah.
Or they say, yeah.
Moving in 60
Yeah.
days. I mean,
So,
My
anyway,
house took a whole year longer than
Yeah.
it was supposed to.
so where there was a time that you could actually have a house built in a couple months. Not anymore. So at any rate,
Unless it's trucked in.
yeah, I'm comfortable with
Right.
not having the discretion part, and we're saying
not
if
too.
if they show proof of that, and you're,
That's
We want to set them up if they're coming.
Mhm.
the other thing, I don't know, I just have, I'm struggling second to.
Yeah, and I guess to me that feels related to the school admissions policy because it's like relevant for anyone in Warwick. Like if you're moving to Warwick, I don't know. Moving out just feels like a different thing.
Yeah.
Moving in feels more connected to like standard.
Yeah.
This is you're here. This policy is you're here and you register.
And then
This policy is you're not here.
You're leaving.
You want to
you're
register.
leaving, yeah.
Well, the top part, you're here, you're gonna be here.
You're gonna be here, right, it's three different,
So
yeah.
Okay, so are we calling this the draft JFAA and this an amendment to JF? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Adam, any chance you captured this?
No.
Right, I'll send you my piece of paper here.
And
Okay,
I would just say the rest of this, I would research more
yeah.
and think about if we really want to do this.
The other is we could just choose well, I'll do some research, but we could choose a later date and then.
Yeah, I would be happier if it was a later
Yeah.
date, April, after April vacation or April, May, anything in there where it's the last third of the year. Absolutely. They've been here all year. They're part of our staff. They're part of our enrollment
Our
numbers.
school.
So,
Okay, so I will see what some other towns are doing for next time.
you know, and if it comes back and it's January, okay, I'll live with it, but I don't like it. And that last piece, I don't like at all.
So what other options do seniors have in terms of school choice?
Stay
The
here.
Two districts we're working with.
You mean keep residents here?
Yeah, if a student, don't move out of the district, or if you move out of the district, well,
Right.
your senior year, well, petition to go to that school under school choice, and I would think it's on the district. Now let's flip it, their school committee or their administration say, yeah, we'll let you stay here. But we're not gonna have another community pay for it. Doesn't, they would have to do it
It
under
is
school
6 o'clock.
choice.
It's an interesting test of our 2-hour time limit.
Those are things that are on the agenda that we need to do, actually put them on next week. I see the student superintendent planning discussion and the OSHA policy.
And the school admission policy we haven't gotten to.
That was this.
Oh, no, that
That was
was this.
this.
Oh,
Because,
that was it. That was this. Okay.
You know, I
I have a rewrite of one of the paragraphs.
of the one that we passed in.
Yeah, I just, so we haven't, did we pass this? Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Years ago.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Okay.
years ago. Yeah.
We passed this one.
yes.
Yeah, you said we did it in like 23 or 24, and it's so funny because when I read it, I had all these little revisions and
I mean,
So
questions.
this
We
would
can
be a
do-
whole new thing to change this, but this has already been adopted.
But
I mean, we can always amend
it's
it.
not a big deal to amend.
Okay.
We could, I
Have
mean,
them both on the agenda for next time.
Yeah.
okay, so Ken, will you bring all of these good notes? We could, cause maybe it's been a couple of years. We could just do a little revision.
But some of these policies, we said, let's get it on the books.
Right.
And then
Right. And certainly that was a really crucial
Right.
one.
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
a look at.
Totally,
And
totally.
we'll revisit it after we've had a couple of years of experience.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fine. Now I'm realizing what paragraph I was working on, and it was the junior kindergarten paragraph.
I move that we adjourn.
Second, it's not debatable.
It is not favorable. Can I give 2 updates as part of our discussion?
Sure, yeah.
Um. So in terms of superintendent strategies for the next year and beyond, Carol and I did have a conversation. Has she been here?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So there was a couple of steps that we wanted to have with the conversation with Terry, also Carol's former mentor. To bring
Thompson?
her here.
Thompson?
Yes.
Is it Terry or Tari? It's Terry.
TERI,
I
right?
always thought it was,
T-A-R.
Oh, TA.
but it's Terry. Terry.
Terry.
So she's
No, it's
been
not.
here once during the
It's Terry.
school day. I was asking if there may be something she could come to, that there would be, a chance to sort of meet her, more of informal. And then we discussed having more of a formal discussion at a school committee meeting in February. There's a lot going on in the district she's working in now in January that will help inform what happens next. So we're kind of slow walking it, but getting familiar with her, giving her a chance to be familiar with the district. We've also asked, by we, I mean Alan and I asked Russell to look at a potential draft of a contract for Carol. So,
For Terry,
for Carol,
for Carol.
how to establish a continued link
Oh,
for Carol
Yeah.
that's under contract. And
Right.
he did come back with it, but we haven't had a chance to.
we're not letting you go, Carol.
So my hope is that we'll be able to share that with you all and with Carol within the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. And are we putting in a number for Harry as the interim?
My recommendation would be to look at a number that would include whatever cost of living adjustment it is. So what Carol's got this year plus the cost of living adjustment
Oh, okay.
for next year. That is my suggestion.
So we can talk about that at the next meeting.
Yes, and
And so when would we meet, Terry?
we're still working on an informal.
Okay.
And then in terms of the formal, we had talked about, could she make our school committee meeting? I don't remember. I think we've got one that's firm in February, at the beginning of February, and I think
Yeah.
she could make that.
I mean, if she could come in the afternoon and see the school and all that stuff and then meet with us, that
But
is.
she has already been to the
She's
school.
been here.
So we don't
Because
have any event that we'd like her to come.
And then we're looking for something that it's something that we could also be
we
at.
were talking about maybe having her come to one of the Friday professional development, and then maybe if folks wanted to come when it was over and just talk informally. How would that be?
Could we move our school committee meeting to that Friday? Nothing happens on a Friday.
Available on Fridays
Oh.
until like 4 at the earliest in the afternoon. I'm.
4:15?
That day.
But-
I mean, that means I have to
Oh.
get my son to stop working early.
Oh.
So I can leave, because it's an hour from here. So I usually stay there till 4 and I can get home by 5. But, you can do it without me. I would trust the rest of yours.
Okay. Well, we'll
Judgment
keep
about
working
Terry.
on
Yeah.
something. So I think a chance to just have informal side conversations in the course of something school related. Ideally before a more formal discussion with school committee meeting. That's what I was hoping for anyway.
So
We'll see if we
we've
can pull up.
posted the position.
We are working on a draft that can be posted and which should be posted probably shortly after our next meeting.
Yeah, you should post it and then have her join in.
Yeah.
Let's get the posting out.
Get the
Yeah.
posting out
Yeah.
on the next meeting, so we will have decided kind of the terms
Right,
at our next meeting.
Well, the posting will need to have a job description and a
right.
salary
Right,
Range.
range.
right. So that's what I meant by the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can decide whether or not we want Terry to fill that position after that, after we get. to
Or
that.
interview first or whatever.
Got it.
Sounds good. So, thing that I'm gonna do is make sure Terry can come to one of the early February school committee meeting.
You want to take a vote?
Um,
Can we have a motion?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
so that was my
That's
discussion
like-
for our motion.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:07.